FCK Putin is a sandbox game based on making fun with the current president of Russia, Vladimir Putin. In FCK Putin, sky is the limit. Use the blocks available in the game to make sure Putin is punished for the harm he has done to the Ukrainian people. Afterwards, don't forget to take some pics of him. The developers describe the content like this. The game contains blood, gore, no flesh or dismemberment, covered nudity, no testicles, genitals, or naked breasts, violence and deadly weapons like guns, grenades, mines, saw blades. Sit back, relax, and start having fun with Putin. Throw him to the walls or into the sky, piss on him, shoot him, do whatever you want. Use the in-game tools such as baseball, Alaska, 47 or grenades to score points.
Today, we will review Crab Game. This is a first-person multiplayer game where you fight for the ultimate cash prize in different mini-games based on children's games until only one player is left to claim it all. The player must avoid dying and be the last one remaining in order to win a cash prize. However, the game ends if there is nobody left. Players can attack others with various items, compete in various maps and game modes, and communicate with each other through proximity chat. Players can also create servers with up to 40 players or join existing ones. Crab Game was well received upon its initial release. The game also quickly gained exposure on YouTube and Twitch because of the serial Squid Games on Netflix. The game was nominated for the Better with Friends category of the 2021 Steam Awards, but lost to It Takes Two, which we also played on the channel. Check the playlist.
Drunken Wrestlers 2 is a funny, physics-based multiplayer fighting game. Features include character customization and a powerful mod editor integrated with Steam Workshop. The game allows you to play both online with players on PC and Android, and together on one computer using a controller. The game has a casual and competitive mode. The game is free on Steam. If you want to play, just download it. This game is based entirely on physics. The more force you pack into your strikes, the more damage you will deal to your opponent. Characters are subject to external influences and realistically maintain balance thanks to procedural animations. You can play it on PC or Android.
Today we will review Engine Evolution 2022. This game was created during studies of a student at Charles University in Prague. He made most of the game alone. He hoped you will enjoy it. His goal is to capture 150 years of racing in a single game one day. Controls are simplified enough to still give you the passion from riding, but not too complex to take you hours to learn. It mainly focuses on giving players the best enjoyment from racing fights possible. The core of the game are short, dynamic races with a high density of action. The feeling from the ride is very reminiscent of older games. Do not expect a hardcore simulator. On the other hand, it's not a kart racing game. There are physics, and you need to keep that in mind. This game is a very good game with the psychics. It has the best to play with a controller because it is very good optimized with the gameplay. He have my respect because he do it all alone and it is a decent race game. Controls are simplified enough to still give you the passion from riding, but not too complex to take you hours to learn. It mainly focuses on giving players the best enjoyment from racing fights possible. The core of the game are short, dynamic races with a high density of action. The feeling from the ride is very reminiscent of older games. Do not expect a hardcore simulator. On the other hand, it's not a kart racing game. There are physics and you need to keep that in mind. Today we will review the game Escape from School. Confused, you wake up sucked into an empty classroom. You have to try to escape from school by solving puzzles and discovering secrets. You will find yourself stuck in a school classroom. You and your friends try to escape by solving puzzles and finding the correct answers. To escape the classroom, you will have to inspect, interact, combine, and interpret objects to obtain clues to solve new puzzles. Like any escape room, it is intended to be played once. The average time of completion is around 50 minutes. This game contains a lot of mysteries to escape the room, and psychological speaking from my point of view, it is very disturbing knowing I am stuck in a room I cannot escape from. And the only things I know about the room, it is a chalkboard with some object around me and some graphs to tell me the answer to the riddle to get out. If you like this kind of game, I invite you to play it because it is free on Steam and you can play actually with 2 to 4 friends on the same room escape. Today we will review Ethereal Estate As an ethereal estate agent and a ghost, Lulu's job and ghoulish obligation is to wreck the Viados Manor. Bring a friend to the carnage side by side in local co-op or with remote play. Graphics are nice and clean with a very lighthearted art style with good attention to detail with just how many different objects are in the map and how they interact. For how many hundreds of objects there are, the game runs pretty well. It chugs a little when there is a lot going on or objects start clipping, but nothing unplayable. With physics, sometimes things would get stuck in the ground, but there is an in-game reset button that lets you keep your objectives progress if you've lost an item or made too much of a mess. And the level is not too big or complex to make starting over a chore. I'd recommend this game. It's a fun, silly game with a cool concept. It has a nice environment, art style, good music, and a nice touch of humor. You can interact with many things, objects, persons, to experiment on physics or help clear tasks, or even roam in this sandbox to try to find some secrets. It also has some backup options in case something could go wrong, like accidental stuck objects, for example. And it's free. This game have a list of objectives as you play. You can make them, or you can just play as a ghost that likes to haunt people and mess with them. You can make them ghosts too if they got hit too hard. Overall, it was a really pleasant game. Had a good fun time playing it.
SCP Containment Breach multiplayer. In this game, there are 2 gameplay mode. Containment Breach, co-op and multiplayer Containment Breach with up to 64 players. Or Breach Game Mode, a multiplayer game mode, where you can become SCP entity, guards, etc. You can play the Steam game called SCP Containment Breach Multiplayer. I gotta warn you that it isn't the original single-player game, and depending on how many people you play with, up to 64, it can turn more into SCP Secret Lab. I think one of the things that makes Containment Breach so scary is that the player is almost never safe, and even the slightest slip can end the game. You have to constantly stay alert for SCP-173, listening for any scraping sounds and carefully looking around when entering a new room.
Today we will review Just Act Natural. This is a crazy online multiplayer party game full of deception. Compete against your friends in a continuously expanding pool of game modes and stages. The party game genre requires you to be as deceitful as possible. Fool your friends, don't act Seuss, just act natural, and be the ninja you dreamed about every day. This game is a hide-and-seek-like, but it has a special plus compared to the rest. Because you can dress up as you want during the time when you have to look like an NPC who doesn't do much. The idea of the game is to hide the diamonds from the seeker, who is usually a flying object and looks from the edge of the map at the players, who seems suspicious and tries to see who deserves to be removed from the map. After elimination, each player has the option to watch the rest. It's a pretty decent game in terms of hide-and-seek gameplay. If you like it, it's free on Steam and you can play it very easily with your friends. Hello, here is Revers. If you enjoy the content, think about seeing other videos. I have many that are on this topic, so look on the channel, maybe you will see something. Thank you and enjoy. Today we will review FPV Skydive. It is a first-person view simulator that allows you to be a drone and fly into a stadium or a big building that is going to be finished, and it is a free-to-play drone racing and freestyle simulator and your gateway into the world of FPV drones. Experience an immersive and realistic flight simulation through the eyes of an FPV pilot. Practice your skills and participate in races, challenges, or your own freestyle sandbox tricks as you master your flying skills in both single-player and multiplayer. The best thing about this game, it's pretty accurate to what it would look like from the perspective of a drone, flying over things, and when you're holding the controller and seeing how every little movement reacts on the screen, just like a drone. It raises the bar of reality of what this simulator is all about for drones. You can play it on PC or Android because it is on Magazine Play too. Welcome to Hitler. You go back in time 80 years. In front of you lies a half-conscious Adolf Hitler. You know he can't move, can't defend himself. To your right lies a brand new MP44 and a set of grenades. To your left, a large saw blade and a gallows. You know what to do. The basic mode in Hitler. Grab Adolf and throw him in the air, play with him as you see fit. You can also play with MP44 and grenades inflicting massive damage to him and beat him over the head with his own artwork. You can create an infinite number of Hitlers. Create as many of them as you need by choosing among a rich array of skins. Create your own constructions and test which ones will do the most harm to Adolf. You can choose from several basic blocks such as cube or ball, and special blocks such as saw blade or spinning swastika, which effectively cause harm to the Führer of the Third Reich and earn points with which you can climb higher in the public leaderboard and earn achievements. Hello there! If you like this kind of content, you can find on my channel more. Here is the playlist with the game or a new video of mine, and subscribe if you like too. Thank you.